Welcome to Audrey's world.
Hey, hi, hello. Welcome to Audrey's World. I'm Audrey O, your host. So, welcome. Welcome to this crazy, crazy world that I've formed here on the internet. It's a world that's daydreaming, that has a bunch of friends, family, people in my life, and it's just a culmination of what our realities are and what we're daydreaming of. So if you're into that, welcome. You're in a great spot. Today's guest on Audrey's World is just a dazzling, fun, special guest. They all are in their own ways, but I really enjoyed today's conversation. Honestly, for me, I don't know, it felt like a 5-minute conversation. I was like, oh shoot, this is crazy. Time's going so fast. So maybe you'll hear it like that too, or see it if you're watching on YouTube. I don't know, but it was just a very fun conversation. So I would like to welcome today's guest, Maeve McDermott. Whoa, Maeve, welcome. Welcome to the Audrey's World's guest list. Hey, welcome. Welcome, Maeve, and welcome all you listeners. That was a little chaotic, but it's fine. Um, Today's conversation is such a fun one. I know Maeve through work, and she was born in the Chicago suburbs and is now living in France. How cool. So we obviously get into that, and I endlessly love learning about France versus the US and cultural differences or just like what's happening. So you get a lot of that info into today's episode. It's also such a special time in Maeve's life. She just moved. Her and her partner bought a place in France, and they just got engaged. So like, wow, what a ooey gooey special time of life. And Maeve is just very like creative. She's very, very people focused, but yet she's a biostatistician. Okay, cool. So she's so mathy, so analytical, and just so smart. Like, talk about a cool, fun conversation that I can't wait for you to listen into. So with that, let's get into it. It looks so nice where you're at. I'm so jealous.
It is. Honestly, wait, just take a look at this courtyard because it's very pretty. There's lots of trees.
Wow.
Oh, we just moved. So it's
I know.
end of an era.
Are you excited about like the move? Is it a good move to a better spot or like better situation?
I mean, we wanted to buy for a long time, so we bought this next place. Like, I'm a homeowner in France.
That's crazy. Congrats. And I mean, we'll talk about it, but you're like a wife now too?
A fiance.
Amazing. A lot of life events since I last talked to you, babe. Congrats.
Who told you, or did who told you?
You were announced in the all staff at the end, like a congrats on a civil ceremony.
Oh my gosh. Oh wait, no. So two things. I'm a civil unionized person in France, but it's called PAX. It doesn't exist in America, but we got engaged like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wait. Okay, wait. Explain the difference to me because I thought civil service, I thought that was a wedding. So like, wait, I'm confused, but congrats.
It's kind of like, in Vermont where you can like live with someone for 5 or 10 years and then you automatically are in a civil union, like a partnership.
Partnership, yeah.
It's kind of like that. It's for tax reasons. And so Val and I did that in December to help us get this apartment. And then in March, we got engaged, and then we'll get married sometime next year, and fun things, crazy, weird things, life.
Hey, that's so amazing. I'm so happy for you.
It's good stuff. Very good.
Yeah, a lot of fun life events. I'm catching you at such a fun time. I can't wait.
I was thinking, like, should I tell her all this stuff before? How much fun would it be to tell her on the podcast, though? So
Yeah. Oh, so when did you officially move in? And then tell me about the engagement tour. Whatever you want to say first, but I want to hear both stories.
So we moved yesterday. We signed on Friday, and then we could have moved later, but May in France has like holidays every single weekend, and so we're thinking we had to do it in April. And so yesterday we had a bunch of friends come and help. We took a few hours. It was it's 2 blocks away. It's so easy, but
Oh, good.
we had like a few rounds of stairs to do with big furniture pieces. And then today we're like unpacking our suitcases and putting our clothes away. And
So
this,
I got you out of moving a little bit.
yes,
Hopefully
you
it's a good
did.
distraction.
Yes, you did. Thank you. This is much more fun than cleaning this apartment, which is a little
Yeah,
not good.
yeah, yeah.
But yes, I feel adult. Our new place has so much sunshine, like we can't
Good.
to have plants and everything, and yeah.
Well, I mean, I've never bought a home here,
Neither
so
South America.
but like I kind of know the process, but it sounds different than obviously what's happening than like the process in France. I mean, I feel like that's literally everything. We could say there's a different process or like structure of what it looks like in US and France, but it seems kind of quick. Like,
Yes and no.
no?
We signed like the first piece of paper in December, and that
Oh
was
God.
like our commitment to purchase. And then we had to talk to notaries and the mortgage broker and the banks. And so between December and April, so 4 months passed, and it went quick. Like, I guess most people probably don't sign and then move in the next day, but I think we're like so excited and giddy that we
Hmm.
wanted to.
Yeah.
But the differences between home and here, I don't know. So I can't say like how the process
Yeah.
works.
Well,
Um,
because I feel like, I mean, it's kind of, it sounds kind of similar in the fact that, like, you go through that closing period,
mhm.
and then I don't know if you sign something or like what happens on the day that you can move in or whatever. But I guess it sounds kind of similar. And I
Mhm.
think closing is usually around like a month, month and a half or something. So maybe a little bit longer in France,
Yeah,
but I don't know.
I don't either.
Okay, so that's fun. You moved in. What
Mhm.
is it more just like you change spots so you can buy and have more light, or are there other pros with the new spot?
It's a little bit bigger. I like can't understand space, even like in square feet,
Oh,
even square meters. I don't understand it, but like we have
no
three
idea.
rooms, an office. Yeah, I don't. It's 130 square meters, which is nice, I guess. And like,
Yeah, sounds great. I don't know. Yeah, and the meters part would really throw me. So,
I know. Also, I think when it's like in terms of apartments, you have to like divide by three or something. I should know this because I'm a mathy person, but it's not an easy calculation.
yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's also to like have a spot that we can like break walls in or paint or
Mm-hmm.
do life and life projects in. So,
Settle into really.
hmm
Oh my
yeah.
God. That's amazing. And then tell me about the engagement. Like, incredible.
Um, well, it happened in March and we Val is very cute and funny, and he woke me up with a latte and asked me in the morning, and I had like drool down my face and my eyes were crossed, and it was yeah. But then he said like, "I love you even when you have drool on your face," and that was sweet, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then after work, so we went to work, and I was like, "Oh, I'm wearing a new ring today." It felt so special. We went on a walk. We went to the park where we met, had a couple beers, and then went to dinner. And so it was nice. It was a
Fun.
very lovely, like, day. Um,
Aw.
and I'm very excited to like continue this partnership with Val. And I don't know. I really love him. And it's cool to have like the apartment and the engagement all happening at once because it's like, wow, we're really
Yeah.
building something here. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
You have always been like so giddy about Val. You've always loved like you love love, especially you love love with him and like all that you've gotten to experience and what he brings to your life and how you two have like melted together. It's like just been so cute. You've always been so happy about it and unapologetic. Like, yeah, I just love this. Like it brings me joy. It makes me so happy. So I love that you have that in a partner. I love that you're so happy about it. And like, I mean, not to throw myself into this, but if I were to get engaged, I would want something kind of more like that. Like, I want it just very intimate, like just us two. So I think it's very cute how it happened and how, like, maybe more in love and more excited you are for this next chapter.
Yes, it was super sweet, and like I think Val and I we're like we fit very well together because we're very like we fill the gaps of the other person. like my personality might be like a little bit fireworky and like ah! And he is very grounding, and I think like even the way this engagement happened, it was very like looking back on it, like yes, I wouldn't have wanted like a weird like will you marry me in big balloons
Yeah.
like I don't think yeah. So I it was very sweet, and also the engagement is like one step of a lifetime together, you know, it's not it's so funny being here though. French people like they're like they don't do engagements. They don't there's no like there's
Really?
no, not really. They don't some of them do get rings, but a lot of them are like, "Oh, cool. Like what are you eating for lunch?" Like it's not a big deal. Whereas I think I see a lot of my friends at home having like engagement parties and but like a lot of like fun stuff. Actually, it's family stuff, you know, but
Hmm.
yeah, and part of me is like, "Oh, I'd love to be with my family celebrating Valentine," but then part of me is like, "Wow, this is really cool that they just don't care."
Hmm. That is interesting. Like the cultural differences around like those next steps. It is, yeah, sometimes I think we put so much weight and value in like how it happens, maybe what the ring looks like what the wedding looks like, or things like that. But you're so true. And like it's just one step of hopefully like 80 years together, or like whatever, a very very long relationship and time together. Like it's truly just the beginning of that, which is so special in its own way, and like definitely can be celebrated and should be recognized. But like to your point, there's other ways to celebrate and recognize and value that.
And like I'm on both sides of this saddle. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I'd love to celebrate the way we celebrate, and also like digesting how they do it. And it's a thing I didn't even realize would be different, you know, like
Yeah.
I didn't, yeah. So, but my he used my mom's stone, so the ring is actually very sentimental and like special because like it's a
Oh,
family thing. She gave it to him last August. It's kind of cool. So.
oh, that's really sweet. Oh, I'm sure that's extra special to like have a piece of your family, like a part of that. Very special.
Definitely. Also, I brought a Tortel twist, and it's my favorite like lemonade beverage, non-alcoholic, and I'm gonna open it and drink it because I feel
Yeah,
thirsty.
yeah, yeah, girl, go for it. That's so cute.
Awesome. Well, cheers. Do you have a like coffee next to you?
I have a water bottle. Cheers
Cheers.
to cheers to Maeve. Cheers and Val.
Cheers to us
Oh,
talking. It's been too long.
I
Um,
know. I know.
what about you? Are you still in the same apartment that
Girl,
I visited back in the day? Yes, you're there.
I haven't changed. I am kind of considering. I feel like I always say I'm considering moving, but I'm like kind of for real with it now, I think, or more for real. I think I recognize that maybe I'm getting way too comfortable here, and maybe it could be good for me to like try a new neighborhood, or like do something new, or just have a new space, new whatever, like day-to-day life sort of thing. So, does that mean I'm going to take action immediately? Absolutely not. But I think in like the next few months, I don't know.
You'll
We'll see what happens, but
that is also, Lakeview is very fun. Like, even within Lakeview, you can have different neighborhoods that you can explore. When we rented that place near, like, in Wrigley,
mhm.
totally different, like, different cafes, different bars, but, like, still you could walk there. And that's, I think, so cool that even in one neighborhood in Chicago, you have, like, so many different
No, for
options.
sure, for sure. It is like that's what I love about bigger cities is if I were to move 2 blocks away, even though I might walk past it every single day, or, like be close enough to that, I would still have a completely different experience than what I'm like having in my
Mhm.
spot now. It's so fun, and the possibilities are a little like different for sure. But okay, so describe your neighborhood now, because you're not in Paris. You're in like a more Paris. Did I say parish? But you're not in Paris. So what is life in a more regular city in France like?
So I'm in a city called Besançon, and it's like probably 120,000 people. And life, like it's Sunday today, and it's slow. Walking over here from the other place, everything was closed, even the bakery. Like
Oh, really?
you have to like
All
stop.
day, or just in the like, because it's evening there now. So is it just kind of
It depends. Our favorite one is closed on Sunday and Monday, which is a bummer. But like other ones are open and you can get your bread in case of emergency if you
Yeah.
didn't. But it's funny walking around the downtown area is this little like loop, and it has a river surrounding it, and it's almost like it is a fortified city. It was a fortified city. And so you'll walk around the thing called the loop, or the la boucle, and you'll cross paths with people that you know 4 different times. And so
Oh,
it's
yeah.
very cozy and small.
Uh-huh.
It's probably the size of Lakeview in a,
Yeah.
but I like it, and I feel like there's enough like cultural fun activities going on in this city that, like, no, it's not Paris, it's not Chicago, it's not New York, but if you want to be involved and do something. Last night we went to a concert, and it was a kind of like Radiohead-esque concert, and that's
Fun.
cool. Like they have that
Yeah.
stuff. Um, but yeah, it's quiet. There's hills, which, like, the city is surrounded by hills, and so lots of people go
Pretty.
hiking and trail running, hiking on
Oh,
lunch.
that's amazing.
Mm-hmm. It's so cool. It's very naturey. It reminds me of Vermont. Yeah, I like the
Oh, which
hills.
that's special. You would have never, like, I would have never thought that. Or I would assume I've only been to Paris, so like, I don't, like, I would assume it's obviously a different vibe or maybe more community, like smaller, like, yeah, still some fun things to do, but not on like some grand city scale. But to me, I was not thinking that then, like, you look over, you see some hills and you're like, people are going on hikes and things. Like, I would have not put that together for France. So that's really cool.
It is cool. And we're about like 2.5 hours, 2 hours from the Alps. I don't think
I
these.
was just going to say, aren't you close to Switzerland? So actually, that does
Yes.
make sense that you would have some hills and things like that. Okay.
It's very like the hills are alive with the sound of music
Yeah.
vibe. Yeah, also it's interesting, like the people here, I feel like they're hard to crack. Like us Americans, if you meet someone day one, you could have like this instant relationship and think that they're your best friend, and then like 2 months later you like will never talk to them again. Whereas here, if you meet someone, they're going to be kind of cold to you, especially in this region. But if you continue to like build a relationship, there are people that are going to be in your life forever. If you call them at 3 a.m., they're answering. Like, it's I like I like both, but it's different.
Yeah, like a slow burn to the relationship. They're like feeling you out and they won't just say, yes, let's be besties. It's like, no,
Yeah.
they wait. They wait till they mean it, sort of thing.
You have to pass a
Has it
bunch of.
Yeah. Has it been easy to like I'm not easy, but what's it been like? Because for me, and I know we've talked about this, like I moved to Chicago having a set of friends here or people that I already knew, and I didn't really have to go out and like meet new people, but now I'm trying to expand my circle and I'm realizing that it's so hard to meet friends here. So I can't imagine going somewhere or like just going to a totally different culture. I know you know the language, but like that just being a different part of it and things too. Like it just, how has it been to get to know people?
It's like I think once you get to know them, it's you feel like you've achieved something and you deserve to like make yourself a cake.
Yeah.
Val is so kind with his friends, and his friends are so kind to me. Like they have embraced me, and like a lot of them will bring me along to do activities, even if Val's like not around or
Oh,
free.
good.
I have this group of roommates that I lived with when I was like doing that language assistant year, and one of them in particular, Clem, she's like my soul friend here. She was at our apartment today, like setting up our kitchen because she's good at organizing and I'm not.
Oh, yeah.
Um, and so I think like with Val and his openness to like sharing his friends with me, and then Clem and her openness to bringing me along to her family and friend events, I've been able to like adopt their friends, but making my own, I'm still like figuring that out. It's kind of
Yeah.
hard.
It's so
Um,
hard. It's like, yeah. Yeah. It's
and
impossible.
I like I feel like I'm always the other, because even if I can speak the language, after a few sentences, they know I'm not French because I'll make a mistake or have a funny accent. And I'm over the conversation of like, oh, where are you from? I don't want to talk about that anymore. I'm
Yeah.
over it. And I don't really want to like speak in English with people at the bar because I'm gonna isolate myself and only be able to talk to that one person. Like, but I joined a Tahoe club, which is a card game. And so there's like a bunch of people that play this card game. And I think that's the perfect way to like chit chat a little bit between rounds, but also you don't
Yeah.
have to talk and you can just be there, even if you
Hmm.
aren't one of them. And that's been great. So,
Yeah. Yeah, an activity to meet people to, yeah, maybe like it's okay if there's like an awkward silence or like a pause in the conversation because you have the activity to like go to or you gotta like figure out your next step or whatever. So
yeah.
yeah, hopefully that's good. Or maybe it's just some more like familiar faces that you'll see in the loop and then like who knows, maybe your friendship can expand a little bit more because of those sorts of things. So I think that's a great idea.
I need to give you kudos because you remembered what it's called. You said the loop. I'm like, wow, Audrey, 10 out of 10. How did you
Oh.
remember? I'm so
Oh my God, Maeve, like put your expectations a little higher from me, maybe.
It's a good memory. You should come see the loop, by the way. I would love
I
to have
know.
you and show you my new apartment. You could have your own room with a desk. Like, come
I
hang.
know. I do actually. I will. I'm not just going to say that. I do want to look into that because I don't have as many things to do this year, and I really want to get out of here. I want to get out of America for a bit. So,
Remember when you had like the road trip that you were possibly going to go on?
yeah.
I mean, is this desire to get out kind of related to like the itch to go see things? Are they similar, or are you trying to see like non-US based things? Like, what's the hope?
Great question. I feel like I'm like, um, I guess like it's just been a while since I've been out of the country, or somewhere new out of the country. Because I went to London probably almost 2 years ago now in November, and that was a lot of fun. But I'd already been to London, and like no shade, but like it was great to see it again and see it in a different way with locals and things. But that just reminded me how much I want to like experience somewhere new. And I feel like a lot of my recent travels in the US have been visiting friends or going to places that I've already been. So I think I just have the desire to go somewhere new and different right now. But I also don't want to do that like alone. So yeah, this is like a good little leeway or like an in between sort of thing where it's somewhere new, but it's not like alone. Or I just don't want it like I'm in my personal life, I'm not the biggest planner or like I don't always do a bunch of
Hmm.
like trips or like things like that that I would probably actually really look forward to, but I'm just like, oh,
The task,
like
the
yes,
homework, yeah.
the mental load of it. Like I want to ignore it. So I feel like it's yeah, would be a good way to like yeah, do
Hmm.
it, visit someone, not maybe have to plan all of
And then
it.
like we could tack on Switzerland and go walk
Yes.
the hills together, and like that would be
Yes.
fun for me too because I don't always get to do that. Um, I like that.
That sounds
Also,
very dreamy.
yeah, I know. Maybe that will be my dream world. I haven't come up with uh, mental loads. Why are they so real? Like
Yeah.
I feel like when I can't respond to like I have this thing about text messages that stresses me out. I feel like there's other things too where like you saying the word mental load like brought up a list of things that give me a mental load, and then it gave me a pang of like anxiousness. And it's weird. Like, is that because we're adults now, or is that this like technology based world that we live in that is creating this? I don't know. Or
You're
is it
right though. It is so visceral. Like yeah. And I don't know because I feel like I can look back and a part of me does feel like it's more adult maybe because you just have so many more responsibilities or like,
yeah, like
have a
tax.
facade that you're doing everything and like yeah, you're paying your taxes, you're paying rent and you're having fun and like living healthy or whatever you're trying to do. Um
It's a lot.
Or maybe, but I do think you have a point where it is like the added notifications, the emails, the scrolling, like I don't, the news articles or like I don't know anything. Like I think it is a lot. And it's a lot that is just kind of automatically feeding into us and we don't have it's harder to be like, I don't want to see that right now. Like, yeah.
Yeah, because we live in like my phone average is like 2 hours and 30 minutes a day. Like if I didn't do that, also like is that counting the FaceTime call I do with my mom? I don't know, maybe. But like is that adding to the fact that like when I then have to respond to the email about my taxes, that email about my taxes makes me stressed out because I chose to spend like 2 hours and 30 minutes doing whatever it was on my phone. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe if I had more time to do my taxes, they wouldn't be as stressful. I don't, even
I
though
don't know.
they're not that hard, but yeah.
But it's a big to do. And or maybe it's like the hype up of like, oh, this is on the list, this is on the list, and then it's like the buildup of the dread, so that it becomes this huge thing like mentally. I don't know. What, yeah, the chicken or the egg. I don't know.
I think also for me, you're gonna like laugh at this because I'm complaining about my taxes and I have someone do them for me, but like part of the stress is like she's waiting for me to respond to her, and so the fact that there's like a human at the other end of my like procrastination or stress of this like business adult thing I have to do in my personal life, that I think like I think a lot about what others think and how they receive like my decisions of like, oh, I'm not going to respond to that text email today. So
No,
sorry,
that's
Kim.
I know, I don't think that's silly, but I think that's a very like female perspective of it too. I think we're always thinking of how our decisions or things might impact others, or and we're very hyper aware of like the perception of what those either actions, decisions, words, like whatever might be. So like, I mean, I think unfortunately, I think it's just a very like feminine response that you're having to that. And I don't know if it's good or bad or what, but
It's good to talk about though.
good, good. Yeah, yeah, for real. I know. I think some of those things that like I yeah, I before this I had someone come over and she too was just like, it's just good to talk about it or hear someone else's opinion of it. Like it's this thing that's kind of bothering me and it's not this overwhelming sort of thing, but it's just like the feelings are there and it just like I want to
It's
get them out.
yeah, yeah, and like I I think something that I don't get enough of here is like these conversations that just free flow, like because I am doing this in French, like I'm gonna hit a hurdle and not be able to say something, whereas I could
Mm,
just run my mouth here. And so I think, yeah, nice. It's nice to unpack things with people who you trust, who speak your language, who, yeah, that's cool.
that you don't have to second guess things. Yeah, that would be hard. Because I mean, there's the stereotype that French people are very critical of like the language. So that would be very difficult if that's true. And it seems like it is because you're shaking your head.
And if you can get yourself to a point where you're like, I don't care what you say, like I'm working on this, but like getting past that will get you further because if you get past it, like they'll judge you and then you can move on and be like, well, I'm still gonna talk to you and then
Mhm,
talk to you.
mhm.
Um, but yeah. Um, Something that I wanted to tell you about, this is random, but like I wrote a letter to a friend about this the other day, and I'm really sad with the move because my spying days are over, but there's this little house here in this courtyard, and there's like a man who lives in it, and he's old, and he has a bike, and he has a dog, and he puts his dog in the basket on his bike, and he like always has oranges on his doorknob. I swear he has a red bag with a bunch of oranges on his doorknob, like he must eat, or his dog must eat so many oranges. Sometimes there's lemons in the bag, like but I like people watch him in our peaceful, beautiful courtyard with all these trees and like he I don't know, I don't think he's lonely. He's always doing stuff. But like I'm sad to say goodbye to him, even though I've
Yeah,
never talked to him.
yeah.
Probably creepy, but yeah.
No, no. Like I would, if I move, like the ladies who work below me in the restaurant, like I would think about them all the time. I would probably eat at that restaurant more often because I just want to check in and like see if they're okay or like see what's going on. Yeah, you like build your little attachments to your community or the people you're just like maybe they don't know you, but you love them from a distance.
In a hopefully not creepy way. I don't think it's creepy, but like yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I'm sitting outside. It's possible he can hear me and he speaks
I know.
English.
Oh, he'll just know you've always been looking out for him and hopefully take it in a good way, but I don't know.
Uh, but yeah.
Aw. Aw. Well, I'm excited for your move and for all the fun life events that you have. But yeah, I do think we don't talk about it enough, but sometimes there is like the grieving of the change. And even if it's like for the happiest, best thing, like it's just a change and change is hard. So sometimes there's still like grieving or just some things that you have to get to maybe feel super content or happy or, like ready for whatever's next.
Yes. And change is hard. Like change, I don't, do you feel like when you were younger, you were more like, give me more change? Or do you feel like that? I think I handled and was so eager for change in my younger days up through college, even in my earlier 20s. And now I'm like, whoa, you're gonna get
Yeah.
rid of my orange eating neighbor? Like, I don't know if I can handle that.
No. Okay, but I'm like thinking through that too. And I'm wondering. So I agree. I think when I was younger, I was so flexible and I was just like, yeah, throw the change here. Like, I don't care. I can run with it. But then I wonder if now is if it's because of our mental load or because we have all the different responsibilities and things with it now,
Yeah.
maybe that's why it's harder. Or maybe I love to connect dots that aren't there, but I don't know.
If we think about that though, our mental load, we're like juggling things. And so if you add another element or if you take away like let's say we're standing on a bicycle on a bowling pin that's on like a bouncy ball, and if you take away the bicycle, like oh, you have to make the bowling pin land on the bouncy ball, and that's really hard to do. So that's
Yeah.
why we need to keep our orange eating neighbors. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Or it's like a part of the change that was like peaceful or didn't realize the value or joy that like that human interaction gave you. So yeah, maybe it's just like, oh, that's really hard because I like enjoyed that and I don't want to say goodbye.
I also think like as people who work remote, like the people in this little area, like if we don't leave the house, we don't see anyone else. And so like the bakery is literally next door and I'm like best buds with the people who sell the bread because they're my people that I see
Yeah,
every day.
they're your
Except
coworkers.
and so it's like taking that away, it is a change not just in the okay, after work, like when I have my coffee on my porch, these people are gone. It's also like, oh, on my lunch break and yeah. But I do go to a co-working and that's really cool because these people at the co-working, they bring spice to my life 2 days a week and I love it.
Good,
hmm
good. I'm glad you're doing that because I know yeah, working remote is hard. I mean, we've talked about that, and you were always one who would like rally the troops. But like I meant, yeah, there is the social element to it, or just like knowing the people you're kind of working with, or like who also work for the same company. Like, yeah, there's those relationships that like I miss.
Are
So, and I know you're very like social and like love to have those people around too. So I love that you found that like kind of in between for you where it's that like we work or shared working space.
Yes, it's cool. And like, I think it's a normal thing to have like coworkers that you spend like 40
Yeah.
plus hours a week at work. Like, that's a lot of awake time. Even if you're just sitting next to someone and you don't actually talk to them, like, it's nice to be around humans, I think.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, I'll be home in July though, so we should plan a day in the office.
I have to ask, can you tell the listeners how you began this life and straddling the US and France? And I know you mentioned the program like just in a side comment, but maybe your interest in the French language, then how it like kind of spun into what it's become today for you.
Yes, I can. This is a fun question. So, I guess it kind of starts in middle school because my Uncle Tom lived in Brussels for a long time and he had moved home before I went to middle school, but was going back for like one of the first times to see his neighbors and friends. And he said if I took French in middle school, he'd bring me. And so he brought me with him
I
one summer.
love that.
It was like my first big trip w out of the country without my parents. There was like a little girl that was part of their neighbor's family that had a similar age. We were similar in age and we played together. And like, I think that if it weren't for that, I wouldn't know Val today. Like, I swear, my uncle changed my life, which is so. Um, and then I studied French and statistics in college and knew like after graduating, after getting my master's in stats, like I was on the path to do math for the rest of my life. It was COVID. I applied to this program where you could teach English as a language assistant in France, and they were still accepting like folks to the program, even though it was COVID and everything was shut down, and it was my ticket out of the country during like
Mhm.
a really weird time, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was an intern with Advanced Clinical actually the summer before, and I like knew I'd probably want to come back and work for them, but I just felt like a calling to do this 9-month program and then come home. Um, and so during that program, there were like lockdowns and the school shut down, and that teacher friend, Clem, who I ended up living with, invited me to live with her and 7 other roommates because I was living alone at the high school.
Oh my
I'm
God.
rambling a little bit, but um, yeah, I met Val at a park, and then like after meeting him, kept coming back, and we'd do 3 months and 3 months, and he'd come to the States for 3 months, and I'd be here. And then I asked Advanced Clinical if I could come here full time, and they said yes, and they're so cool for letting me do that. And so they transferred me in 2024, and it's been 2 years. And yeah,
It's been
life goes
two
on.
years. Oh my gosh. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's really crazy. Wow.
Like I'm getting gray hairs.
Oh, I got mine covered a few weeks ago. Yeah.
I
Same.
need to learn about how that process works because they like go here and they're right, of course, like in the one spot where you can see them for sure.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it,
Oh, I probably two Thanksgivings ago, I was getting my hair done afterwards, and there was just, I didn't realize it, like a huge gray patch in the back of my head, so I can't see it,
yeah,
which is for better or worse. I don't know.
like flipping it out at least. That's what I
Yeah.
was. They like to be together.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Bears.
They're a team for sure.
A big fighting team. They really
Yeah.
fight for their life. Um,
They do. They do. Wait,
mhm,
so first of all, very cool that you were able to, like that young, go and experience like without your parents. I feel like that would feel very magical, independent, and just like, yeah, a lot of cool, just like factors that you wouldn't normally get until you're a little bit older. So that's very special that you got that early on with your uncle, and then got to study the language. And I love that you followed your gut too after your master's program. And it wasn't like, I can do math the rest of my life. I don't know
mhm,
if I'll be able to maybe do this or be in a place in
mhm.
my life to live in France and do that. So I guess like that's very brave and takes a lot of guts because I would not have done something like that. I think I would have just been like, yeah, that's cool. Maybe I'll do it later or something else. So
Yeah.
that's amazing. That's amazing.
I think my parents like I also want to shout them out because I think they pushed us kids to do stuff like this. Like I think they're really sad that I'm not home, but I think without them like they have instilled this mentality in me and also my brothers to like try new things, and if you don't like them you can always come home. And like throughout this process they let me live with them. They let Val come stay with us for 3 months at a time. Like my little brother's living in Botswana like for 2 years, and he's
Wow.
might be going to Cameroon afterwards. Like they have they have instilled something in their water or in us the way they raised us that like makes us interested in yeah
Yeah,
going.
seeing more of the world and oh my God, that's amazing. That's so
Mm-hmm.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Very special, yes.
So
Aw,
yeah, but
cute. And
it was
then, so you met Val at a park?
yeah. It was COVID. Yeah. It was COVID and like all the restaurants and bars were closed. So we'd go drinking in the park.
Hmm.
And there was a lockdown. Not a lockdown, a curfew.
Hmm.
So everyone had to be home by 9 p.m. And so at like 8:55, we were packing up our picnic, and I had had a few beers, and I was like drunkenly smiling at him because he was walking by, and I thought he was so cute. And he saw me, and he walked over and talked to me for 5 minutes before curfew, and we exchanged phone numbers, and then we went on like a few dates and hit it off.
So cute. Okay, also though, I feel like very like French men like taking the ownership in that because like a guy in the US, I really don't think he would have then come up to you after you've like smiled at it. I think he would just been like, that was cool, bye, or like whatever. So I love that. And but how cute, how special. And yes, it was like a moment in time, and you'll always remember the 5 minutes of curfew. Like you'll always have that. You'll always remember it.
Yes. I can like play that scene over in my head on repeat because it was truly like it was a 5 minute exchange, but now here we are, 5 years later.
That is very dreamy, very like just cutesy. I love it. So, with that, I feel like that's very Audrey's world. We got to know your reality. We know what's happening in our worlds, but what's happening in your dream world, Maeve? But before I guess I ask that, what's your relationship to daydreaming? Like, do you enjoy daydreaming? What's it look like for you? And then what are you daydreaming about?
I think there's like two aspects of daydreaming for me. It's like reinventing the world in like, weird ways. Like can we walk on our hands and our hands are actually forks and like some weird like
Hmm.
when we speak sparkles fly out of our mouths and like that
Hmm.
kind of daydreaming, which happens a lot less often than like the daydreaming of like practical like actual dreams I think I want to achieve, which are oftentimes travel oriented or like goal oriented.
Hmm.
Like we talked about traveling a little bit earlier, but I think I daydream of going to see different places in this world, and sometimes I'll make a list of like how to make that happen. Sometimes that's like, okay, well, like where would I stay? What restaurants would I want to go to? Um, like what tours sound cool? Do I know anyone who's gone before and can I ask them for advice? How am I gonna pay for this? Like, do I have to put money in the bank every month for this to make it happen? And do I have a date in mind? So like
Hmm.
I daydream about that a lot, I think. Um, and I think human relationships, I'm gonna add a third layer. I
Yeah.
think I also like dream about people and like I think about people and like our interactions and like maybe traveling with people sometimes, like what's that like?
Hmm.
And yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But lots of travel in there.
Yeah. That's awesome. It's fun for me to hear what people are daydreaming about because sometimes I'm like, oh my God, of course, like that's so them. And I feel like that is like so you in a lot of ways where it's this like, oh my God, what if our hands could be forks? Or like, what if we speak sparkles? Like that is so, I feel like Maeve is already like always already speaking in sparkles or like, like doing things like that. But there, like, I feel like this is so your personality. You're so people focused, very like community extroverted in those ways, but then you're very like analytical, like you're a biostatistician at the end of the day. So it's like process numbers, analytics, like that sort of thing. So I feel like this dream world is such a merge of like of your personalities or your different sides. So I love it. It's very cool to hear.
That's fun. I love like the idea of this too, like the podcast. Like, I think did you create this truly to just like go pick around in people's minds and be like, like I want to know what lives in there. Like, is that your hope out of these calls? Like, let's crack open our skulls and see what lives
Like it
in.
goes in waves. Like sometimes I think I was very, yeah, maybe futuristic or like I was ahead of where I knew I was when I like started doing this, and then other times I'm just really I don't know how I got here and fumbling it, and like I don't know what's happening with it or how we got here, but I'm glad it's what it is. So it's like a mix of both. Was it maybe a little, I think I just recognized that I was daydreaming a lot, and like I just wanted to know what other people were dreaming about, and I was like, wait, what are my friends daydreaming about? Like we talk about maybe like these goals or fantasies that we have, but is that actually what they like are thinking about most of the time and
Yeah.
things? So yeah, I think I don't know if that answers your questions, but it was like a little bit of all of those things, and I think sometimes I'm still figuring out how this is working or like how this like what I want to or like what I want these conversations to be.
I listened to a few of them like kind of in prep for this and one I like the song that you've put at the beginning of them. It makes me like, is that an AI song? It's so cool.
Yeah. Okay, well, a little teaser. The episode before yours, it's the
Uh-huh.
creator of the song.
Oh my God.
So
I
that's a little
love that. I'm
teaser
gonna have
for
to
you.
it's a nice touch. I also love like that you have like you post your thoughts after sometimes you introduce people like I think it flows really well. Um
Thank you.
yeah. Wait, I need to also tell you like in terms of dream worlds, I think I do dream about I really do want you to come visit me. And I like, when like it's an Instagram saying or whatever, like I made it out of the group chat. I sound like
Yeah, yeah, I made it out of the group chat. Yeah. Yeah.
that Instagram saying.
Uh-huh.
Um, like I like when daydreams make it out of the daydream chat,
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they become real achieved dreams. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
They don't need to be a fantasy. They can be real. Yeah, for sure. No, I know. We've talked about this on and off for a while. And yeah, we gotta lock it in. We gotta get it out of the group chat.
I love the daydream chat.
Oh,
Um,
wait, when you're
mm,
thinking about you said yours is kind of like people. And I guess I'm curious because I think I do this. So this is why I'm asking, maybe to see if I'm odd or something.
Audrey as
But
well.
I know, right? You like how I did that? Um, I guess sometimes when I daydream about other people or fantasize about other people, I'll say maybe like romantically a bit. I feel like I get like this fantasy of them and then it's not true. Like I'm like, "Oh, he could be this," or like he says this, so I think that means this, but I'm just like fantasizing or making assumptions and it's not the fact of it. So I guess
Yeah.
do you feel like you maybe do that? I'll say maybe I was just using that romantically as like an example for myself, but do you feel like maybe is that a part of your daydreaming at all where it's like, "Oh, like they said they could do this. I think that means this," or like to me that's what I'm equating it to. Like is that what you were kind of saying about your people daydream, or is it something different?
I think that's part of it for sure. Like extrapolating from the extrapolation, oh, if we want to do a project together, like if we want to play cards, let's also like organize with this one person who knows how to play cards. They could be like the yoga teacher for the morning, and we could have a whole day event and then eat a turkey at the end of the day. I
Yeah.
don't like I think I do extrapolate the extrapolation, and then also personality wise, I don't actually know if personality wise, I feel like even like the person that I've painted into like I was gonna say a Mozart, but let's say Picasso because
Yeah.
Mozart the person I've painted into a Picasso, like they, even though they might not be a Picasso, still have weird things going on. And like, I think you know this because you know how to ask people about what they're daydreaming. Like, if you ask the right weird questions, people are going to tell you, like, they'll tell you answers to those questions and they're going to surprise you and you're going to learn things about them. And you'll be like, wow, maybe like I don't want you as my best friend, but like, I think even the most like predictable people can have really weird sides to them, and it's kind
Yeah.
of fun to try and like find those sides or unpack those secrets and like share a moment with people that might be predictable in a way that you think like, oh, I wouldn't actually get along with you, or like, yeah, make them feel special too. I think like when you talk to
Yeah.
people enough, you can make them feel special, and that like creates a bond with humans. I don't know, it
No,
makes
for
me
sure.
feel special.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, it's like I guess it sounds like what you're saying too is a lot of like, at the end of the day, one, you want to feel like special in your relationships, whether it's like asking them or getting to know them or getting to be more vulnerable between each other. It's like that, or it's just finding out the weird side to someone or the side that you never would have thought they had, but you're so surprised and in the best way. And it's like, oh my God, I got them to open up, or like, oh my God, I discovered this about them. Like, isn't that so fun? Like, yeah, like
It
there is
is.
something to be said about that. It's awesome.
It's like a treasure hunt. But I think, and then my daydreaming with people, I think it's like more of that analytic side that you mentioned earlier, where I'm like, this person, this idea, can we make Switzerland happen? Can
Yeah.
we make a road trip across the country happen while still like playing with all the other variables that you have to include? Also, the
Yeah.
birds are having a party here.
I
So
love
for
it.
listening,
I
I
know,
hope.
it's cool. It's peaceful. It's dreamy. And you probably won't hear it in the recording, or if you do, like that's nice. That's an added touch. So we'll see.
They're here. They're partying. I can
Yeah.
tell you.
I love it. Aw, I love that that's your daydream, and I think it's very like yeah, just fun to hear what people are thinking, what they're dreaming of, or how they do it too, because I think I'm learning it's different for everyone, which is very intriguing to me. But because sometimes those fantasies like they're not out of the group chat yet, or they're like trying to get there, that can be very sad to me, or like a little disappointing. So do you have a little small win that you recently had that you're just like, "Oh my God, this was so fun. I'm glad this happened," or anything like that?
A small win. I went on a run the other day and I'm training for a marathon and I ran 20 miles and it actually didn't go very well, which like that's okay. But the win was I had so many people at the end, like Val and his cousins came and they had a table and like had cocktails and Coca-Colas on the table and we all had such a nice time after like what was actually pretty shitty run. So like
Yeah.
that's a small win, like being
That's
surrounded by people after a letdown kind of.
Yeah.
But also, yeah.
Oh, that makes me so happy. I feel like it's like an example of just a great way that Val shows up for you and supports you. Like,
Yes.
that's very cute. That's
He
great.
he drove like 30 minutes to like yeah, set up this table and got his cousins to come. Yeah, it was super
Oh.
awesome. Um,
And I mean, the fact that you're training for a I mean, you are a runner, but like wild. That's so perplexing to me. That is like a huge, huge, huge win that you could do that. So,
I'm excited. I also like yeah, wins and losses go together and I think when you have like a thing that doesn't go the way you want it to, you can like still make it a good thing.
yeah.
Do you have a win for this week?
Yeah.
Or what's your win?
Actually, I kind of I feel like I have a few going through my head. Um, but I will say probably the one that's maybe more fun, or like that I am more proud of, because I know I would not have done this maybe even like 8 months ago, 6 months ago. My aunt randomly texted me with this girl's number, and she's like, "Hey, she's in her 30s. She's a friend of mine from tennis's daughter. She lives in Chicago. Here's her number. Literally do with it what you will."
Mhm.
And I have a bunch of my friends like moving, so I'm trying to meet more people, or like just get some more relationships in Chicago. So I was like, this is literally like dropped in my lap. I have to do it. Like, and
Mhm.
so I don't know if I even would have done, I probably would have made up so many excuses before to even like text her. Um, Texted her. We ended up meeting a few days ago, and it was so lovely. She's incredible. It was like such a fun match, and we'll probably hang out again and stuff like that. So I feel like that was just a win.
That's a great win. And also, what if she becomes a soul friend and like you have this nice little like funny connection? Like the way we meet people is very weird, and I like the idea of this little text message from your aunt becoming like the reason why you have a soul friend for the rest of your life. Or
Yeah,
not. Maybe she's a soul friend for 2 weeks and
yeah.
you're like, but that's an awesome small win. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, well, thank you for asking. But yeah, no, yeah, it was fun. And yeah, we'll see what happens with it.
Wonderful, wonderful wins.
Yeah. Aw. What else are you up to? Or what else are you looking forward to? I mean, you have the move. What does like wedding planning? Have you started to do anything like that? Like, are you going to do something in both places?
I think it'll be here. It's gonna be here, but we're ironing lots of details out because there's so many details to iron out.
Yeah.
Um, Weirdly, like the last thing that I should iron out is probably the dress, but I am gonna wear my mom's dress, and so like I know that I'm gonna wear her
Aw.
dress, and I feel like that's super special. And then we like have talked to like a florist, fleuriste, um, and it's a friend of Val's family. But besides that, we don't have a lot planned, and more to come. We'll have to
Yeah,
update each other, fill
for
each other in
sure.
on
For
all the
sure.
details.
Well, I guess
Um,
I'm just curious too, because if the engagement, like, if engagements aren't super big there, like, are
mhm.
weddings then
Yeah,
bigger?
I think it's both. I think it's like if you want to have a small wedding where you have like 10 people and that's what you do, cool. There are also people who like go to a chateau and rent the chateau for 5 days, and it's not just a one night wedding, it's like a 5 day
Yeah.
event. So we're hoping to do something in between.
Yeah.
um, and I think the reason they don't think engagements are already, I think like French people are kind of like, I don't need to be married to like know that I love you, and people don't need us to be married to know that I love you, and so that might be
Hmm.
how why engagements are less of a big deal. Um, But so we're looking at this place called L'Écrin du Monastère, which is like an old convent, and
Mm.
it's beautiful. It has a chapel. It has like arches and like beautiful old stone, and it's
Oh,
um
cool.
like a 10-minute drive from downtown Besançon. So
Oh,
that's very
good.
cool.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to hear more. Yeah, weddings can be so fun, and I think I don't know if this is like in general now more of the vibe, but like people are very open to it being whatever you want it to be, and it's not like, I feel like when I was younger, or maybe with our parents, like church wedding, a reception that looked kind of the same no matter what, or like, that sort of thing. So I
Yeah.
love that it can be whatever you want, and whether that's a courthouse thing, whether if it's the chateau with your friends, like and family. And what I love about weddings anymore is being able to see the couple reflected in it, or just like seeing like their little creative not nods that they do to either like their relationship or their backgrounds, like their experiences, like whatever it is. Like I think it's just very fun to see how the
Yeah.
couple celebrates and like puts it all together.
I'm hoping we can do fun little touches. I think it's so funny and fun, the idea of like I have a huge family. Oh, like my dad he's one of 11. And so like all of those people being here, and then like, yeah, how are we gonna tie it together? But already like the idea of the two families merging and not being able to talk, but probably having so much fun to like tackle inside. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Maybe on our next Teams call, then we'll talk about the wedding and like also, I don't want that to be my personality, so maybe not. We could just talk about our trip. Let's start with our trip because the trip is going to happen before the wedding. So,
Okay. Great. Fabulous. I love it. Cool. We can do that. We can do that. Oh my God.
good.
So Val's family, they live pretty close if they just like stop by.
Oh, yes. So his sister lives in town and his parents were in Strasbourg for the weekend and they drove home and I think everyone's so excited about the apartment. So they were they literally showed up like at 50 and I was like, uh the kids too. They have grandkids. Like
Oh,
it was not going it was going to be a lot of back noise more than the birds. And so I
yeah.
figured so thank
No,
you
that's
for
fine. That's cute though. Oh, and I guess I was just kind of curious, like, yeah, if they were close, so do you spend a lot of time with them, or like, how in America I feel like more and more families who live closer together, like it's not uncommon to do a Sunday dinner or have like monthly hangouts, or, like is there any familial big differences or like cultural differences like that, or
No, I mean, like I think because his siblings are older and they have kids, my family hasn't gotten to this point yet. So like I don't know how my family will be, and like also we're far away. So hopefully, if we're close together, we can do like the Sunday dinner or brunch. But
Mhm.
they are a very like family, and it's similar to that. Like we do lots of like Sunday get-togethers, or a lot of his aunts live in the area, and some of them texted because they want to come like play that card game that I keep
Yeah.
talking about Tahoe next weekend. And so um there's where I think we see someone from his family every single week. And
Yeah.
then like we'll pick up his niece and nephew from their daycare and bring them home sometimes. Like it's really fun. His niece is so much fun. 3-year-olds, I think 3-year-olds might be my best friend age. Like
Yeah.
that's the people I should be trying to make friends with because they're so much fun.
I love hanging out at the kids' table. Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah. I want like a little human that can have a little bit of a personality or like start to talk to me.
Agree. They're so much fun and like sassy and yeah, she can repeat English
Yes.
too like no one else. It's kind of crazy. Like at that age, your brain can just say things
Sponge.
perfectly. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Hmm.
Yeah, you're right. I love the like sass, but the imagination and like the no, like there's so much like gusto, but then it falls short because their mind is only so developed. So it's like I love the mix of both. It's like so chaotic in the best way.
Like right before I was leaving, Judith, Val's niece, like hid my phone somewhere, and she was like, "I hid your phone," but like I went looking for it, and it was like my sheet was like it was very obvious where it was hidden because to your point, they're gonna create a tornado, but it's not gonna be like actually well thought out.
Yeah.
And it was like right there. She's so cute. I love
Oh,
her.
that's cute. Well, I'll
Mm.
let you go back and get to the madness and the unpacking and everything.
Thank you, thank you. This was super fun, Audrey.
Yay! Ta-da! That's Maeve's world. How cool. Guys, wasn't I right? Like, I just love that Maeve can be so creative and so like people focused, talk to people, extroverted, and yet be super analytical and mathy at the same time. Very unique, very cool, very special. But wasn't that such a fun combo to listen into? I mean, it was very fun for me. So I hope you enjoyed it as well. I will endlessly be fascinated about the cultural differences in the US versus France versus EU versus Botswana versus South Africa. I don't know. Like, it is very fascinating to me. Side note, I mean, obviously, Maeve and I work together. That's how we got to know one another. And obviously, then our company is a global company. And it's been so interesting for me to learn all the different regulations. Like, if you listen to Rachel Nagel's World, you then heard the like cultural differences in interviews or just considerations and things that you have to take into account when you're hiring someone in different countries or working with people in different countries. It is endlessly fascinating to me. So that is probably why I asked Maeve every chance I got, like the difference of US versus France, because they are just things that I never thought of growing up. And maybe we can do a whole tell-all, France versus US with Maeve next time or something. But I sincerely appreciate you taking time to support the podcast, to listen, and to just share this conversation with Maeve and I. So a big XOXO thank you. If you would like to continue to support even more, you can like, rate, review, subscribe, or follow wherever you're listening. I am on Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. So I got you audio people and I got you visual people. So no excuse. Just kidding. You can also support by following me on social media. On Instagram, that will be at _Audrey's World, ODDREY, or on TikTok at Audrey's World, ODDREY. So catch me there if you would like to. And I will be back again with another guest next Tuesday. So I'll catch you then. Love ya. Bye.
Yeah.